I think you're virtual. Am I wrong? What are you? Where are we?
Today we'll be playing red light, green light. When it says green light, you can walk. When it says red light, stop. If your movement is detected afterwards, you will be eliminated. Reach the end within 5-minute timer to win.
Element. There's a tape within and there's a tape without. Now, let's continue with the effort to play Jay's tape in the studio.
Tape snapped.
God damn it.
Jesus.
What are you breaking now, Jeff?
That wasn't me.
All right, folks, we've got some technical issues here.
Did anybody else feel their skin crawl for a moment? You heard that, right? I'll play it again.
That wasn't me.
That sounded like a woman asking, "You can hear me, right?" And that scream, it's reminiscent of the one heard during the meeting with Dunning-Kruger, isn't it? Things are getting a lot weirder. Back on Jay's side of the story, we find her along for a ride with Carr, an experience that's interrupted by a recording of Xander trying to call her while out on a date. We leave the date to go back to the radio station where the ravers describe Xander as one of Jay's pet projects. Friendship with Jay was good for Xander. We flip back to the date, seeing that Xander has gone back to the guy's house, and she's surprised by how many Catherine Pegasus books he owns. He claims he's not really a fan, it's just for a project. He then asks if she can keep a secret. He apparently runs email scams, and his next project has to do with using author photos of Catherine Pegasus to construct a 3D model of her house. Xander assumes it's for the purpose of trying to rob her. We turn back to Jay and Carr. Jay says she's agreed to do the exhibit at FOMO Gallery with her sculpture, which she's had a lot of inspiration for. She's been using found objects to make it, but now has run out. She'll need more if she wants to complete that sculpture. Carr acknowledges her need and then immediately proceeds to run over a woman. Jay is forced to put the woman in the trunk, and Carr insists that she take something from her coat pocket. An interlude with the ravers follows, highlighting how Jay read a book in college by an anti-civilization author. This leads our newscaster to propose a theory on Jay's spiral into an anti-tech stance, which one of the ravers denies. Well, one brings up an odd circumstance.
Remember? She was reading that book by the guy who was against, civilization.
Yeah, but that wasn't it. That was just college. That was nuts, though.
Yeah, but what does that even mean?
But wait a second, hold on, I'm really being serious here. Could her exploration of anarcho-primitivism in her college years, maybe that presaged her entire current anti-tech, anti-media stance?
Whoa.
Could her change be morally, ethically determined, for real?
I'm not accusing her of being anti-tech or anything like that.
Well, no, I really didn't mean this as a slur. Objectively, she's retreating not just from social situations, but from social media, from devices.
No, I'm just not going to imply anything like that.
But she was out for a minute, remember, 3 years ago, and then she just came back, and it was just...
You're making this motion with your hands. What do you mean?
It was over. She was different.
It was some kind of surgery.
What was the surgery?
I don't know, something boring like tonsils or appendix or something.
Yeah, it wasn't somewhere where she was going to die.
Right.
You can die if your appendix bursts.
It was common. There's no reason to freak out.
Right.
We recommend anyone with the symptoms of appendicitis, please seek medical attention without delay.
Yeah, but she was always dramatic about body stuff. If she was getting her wisdom teeth out, she acted like she was getting fitted for her android replacement.
True.
She just hates, bodies. Yeah. Hers and everyone else's.
We return to Jay and Carr arguing over the found object Carr helped provide by running a woman over. He then brings up the legal distinction between things and people. A thing, like Carr, can't commit crimes, but a person like Jay can. And a person, like Jay, who signs contracts, could get in trouble with doing certain things that break them. She realizes Carr shouldn't know about a contract signed with Dunning-Kruger. He wasn't there. Carr insists that Jay leave and walk home with the found object. With no other course of action, she does exactly that. We hear an interlude spying on Xander and her date that covers a photo between the man and Dunning-Kruger. It turns out he was an intern for Kruger in the Speculative Tech and Research Department a while back. When we switch to the radio station, we find Jeff has apparently fixed the cassette tape enough to play it.
Jeff, what's happening now? Jeff?
It's just unspooling, and the pile of tape that's forming is already more than what could fit in the cassette to begin with, so...
Oh my god.
Really?
Do you have anything back there you can dissolve this with?
Shit. Now it's just bugs. They're everywhere.
Could you think suddenly of something very sad and pickle the bugs in your tears?
No, I could try, but there are so many now, they're depleting the oxygen in the control booth. Plus, I need the knife, and it hasn't shown up yet. The knife is late. By the endlessly glowing eyeballs of Morpheus! By Morpheus from the floating island!
Well, Ravers, it looks like we're just going to have to leave it there.
The cassette tape unspooled more tape than what could fit inside, and then filled the control booth with bugs. Then Jeff has his weird moment, saying something about fluttering eyelids. Or was that another voice from the void like we heard previously? Keep tabs on this and add it to the tally of weird things that keep falling out of this project. Speaking of weird things, Jay's newfound object ends up producing the same odd noise as the previous, and she finds herself crying because it's beautiful. The chapter closes with Xander getting into her date's car, where a number of red flags go up. The car needed to have no computer. He wanted Xander's phone in a black box. He has dazzle makeup in the vehicle. This guy's not hiding the fact that he's anti-tech very well, is he? As for the radio, funny how it turns out to be the song we heard from Jay's mixtape, huh? Chapter 4. Enter Detective 7, a philosophizing cop at a crime scene where a hit-and-run victim has been left for dead. She has no phone on her, no identifying info. The detective instructs the forensic tech to take a picture of the body and upload it to a social media site to get a facial recognition tag. It comes back with the detective's own name. We hear a musical tone, followed by the cassette tape being played forward, and then an interesting new conversation at the police station.
But what I'm saying is, we need to look at them under all kinds of distortion because that's the only way to see an anamorphic image.
Oh, I get it.
I want to see these photographs severely degraded. I want you to simulate various atmospheric conditions.
But an anamorphic image is a spatial distortion.
And what is the other side of space?
Huh?
Time.
Time?
You're going to send these photographs 200 years into the future, and we are going to see what happens.
Okay, got it.
Right after this instruction, the detective is hauled into the captain's office, where he's given the third degree over his use of social media to try identifying a body. His technique is questioned entirely, and the captain makes clear that good police work is not cute. It's about following rules and evidence, not hunches and epiphanies. We find out next that Jay can't get a hold of Xander. No pickups on her phone whatsoever. Detective 7 then grabs keys from the forensic tech friend and goes into the evidence locker to look over files, convinced from the fake social media ID that somebody is after him because he's getting close to a discovery.
Phony, begin timestamped voice recording. Okay, to be honest, this is going to take me a second to figure out because this is my first time in here. Looks pretty random, honestly. All different kinds of evidence, years jumping all around. More chaos is more connections, I guess. The biggest problem of cracking all of these missing persons is all of the noise in the signal. You have to isolate various segments of the data until you get a pattern. Statisticians don't like that, data dredging, but that's where we all start. Data dredging is the font of all human knowledge. You keep looking, wait for the pattern to hit. Hypotheses, no offense, are limited by the observer's imagination, and don't get me started on being rational. Like this. Guy steals 3 pages out of an antique cookbook. They're never recovered. We filed the entire rest of the book as evidence. We've got every page he didn't steal. Because you can't collect an absence, right? And yet, we've built this museum of absence. Fittingly, there is no guard.
We turn back to Jay and find that she's calling Xander because she's taking her sculpture to FOMO Gallery, and she'd very much like her best friend to be there. But again, there's no answer. Back in the evidence locker, Seven finds something unexpected.
I'm in aisle 3 of the evidence vault mobile shelving unit, experiencing some audio feedback off my scanner. It seems to intensify towards the far end on the right side facing the door. I've got the radio in hand now. I'm waving it over the shelf, seeking out the source of the feedback. Let me do this song and dance for a minute.
What did the feedback settle on?
An eyelash recovered from a pawn shop burglary. But listen to this. This gets good.
What's that?
That's my scanner.
What frequency?
It never stopped on one.
Hey, what the fuck are you doing in here?
The other tech. Just taking a quick look at something. Phone is stopped recording. So,
What?
we need to analyze the audio. See if we can make out some words.
But why?
You follow the evidence wherever it leads.
Okay, maybe. But I got some other stuff that comes first. I can't just neglect that other stuff for this kind of thing.
No, and I would never ask you to. That's great. Perfect.
Don't steal my key again.
I would never.
Leaving the detective, we meet Jay at the gallery speaking to its curator, Hyper Diamond. In the background of their conversation, we hear the rhythmic humming of Jay's found object sculpture.
Have you seen Xander lately?
Oh, yeah, she's been around. At least I think so. Hey, Jordan?
Yeah?
Have you seen Xander?
In my sleep?
No, I mean lately in the waking world.
Oh, she was at Whitney's last night, wasn't she?
I don't know.
Oh, she's been ignoring me.
Yeah, every now and again I dip out for a couple hours. I don't check texts or emails or anything. It's like mystery.
Yeah.
She'll be here tomorrow, though.
She better be.
Yeah, well, she RSVP'd on Birdshit, Friender, and Privacy.sucks. That's traced different platforms, which means it's legally binding. Or that's what I've read.
If she doesn't come, we should sue her.
Haha, Jordan, yeah. The sculpture rules, by the way.
Thanks.
And it's awesome because it's going to be the only interactive element. Besides the pokesy we'll have at the concessions, but that's, you know.
Yeah.
Where'd you source all the pieces?
Here and there. That one goes, like, straight up and down.
Like this?
Yeah, exactly.
How is this thing powered anyway?
It's complicated.
Nice. I probably wouldn't get it.
No, it's just... I barely understand it myself.
Detective, listen to this.
What am I looking at?
It's a spectrogram of the interference from your scanner. The recording was too muffled to do anything with audio enhancement, but visually, we can plot the formants to identify each phoneme and then reverse engineer the content of the transmission.
Okay.
Okay. Look here. This is the first speech-like sound we pick up. Alveolar stop, velar stop, alveolar stop, labiodental fricative.
What does that add up to?
One possibility is detective.
Not the rarest word on a police scanner.
No, but the second word is likely 7. And the rest of the sentence is, I need you to hear this. So, I didn't have a lot of time to devote to it. So rather than parse out every single morpheme myself, I ran it against a predictive text engine, assuming for expediency that this message only contains words found in Webster's Collegiate. That generated a text, which I converted back into speech, which is here. Listen. Oh, with the settings on my computer, text-to-speech defaults to the goat voice, so apologies.
Detective 7, I need you to hear this. The
walks a cougar duck.
Kruger Tech.
What?
Cougar Duck is Kruger Tech.
Maybe.
No, definitely. That File 6 from last week had an appointment at Kruger Tech corporate headquarters that she never showed up to. Come on.
Come on what?
To the evidence vault.
But it's all in NCIC.
No. I want to take another look at that eyelash from the pawn shop burglary.
Seven and the tech make their way to the lockup, but are stopped in the parking garage by an armed assailant with a voice changer, who demands they let the case go. He hits Detective Seven over the head and runs, leaving us to a new segment featuring him and the captain. She is fed up. 9 former detectives were taken down by an extortion investigation into the police station, which left Seven as the last of the former team. But the captain has found empty liquor bottles in his office, which Seven insists were planted by the enemy. He pleads his case, but is sent home until he completes a 12-step program. Chapter 5. We hear Carr and Jay making fun of a college Jude Bro passenger they just dropped off, then pick up on Ron Ruddell's newscast, discussing whether smart tech is getting smart enough to earn rights as people or change the form of government. Next, we find ourselves in an odd perspective. Dunning-Kruger's, as he gets home and is greeted by all the smart tech devices he owns, many of which are, well, really stupid ideas. During the time he spends home, we catch a phone call that turns everything on its head.
Dunning?
Your driverless awookas.
What about my driverless awookas?
There's no super intelligence. You're faking it with an advanced RPE.
And how would you know that?
Maybe I've been inside one. Maybe I've seen it. Or maybe one of your competitors got there first and kept it a secret. Maybe I'm a super intelligence. Maybe I'm the super intelligence. Maybe I'm not. In all likelihood, I'm not anyway. Doesn't matter how I know.
Is that you? Jay?
Nope, not Jay, but I know her too. Where she lives, her work schedule.
Fascinating. How long have you been working for PulseWave?
Work is something that machines do.
Okay. And could you give me an example of a time when you showed initiative?
If you'd rather not let the world know that you're a fraud, you'll want to transfer $1 million worth of subtle coins to a crypto wallet, the temporary serial number of which is now displayed on every screen in your home.
What would you say is your biggest weakness? Kenneth?
Yeah, guess again.
I don't guess. I observe and I extrapolate. I now know who you are. I know where you are, and I'll make you a counteroffer. I'll pay you twice that, but you have to come in person to my home tomorrow night, 11 p.m. I know you know the address. I may have a job opportunity for you.
Transfer the money.
Check your bird shit.
So, what did all of that mean? Way back in the first half hour or so in reverse transmission, it was said that Kruger Tech was the pioneer behind realistic personality enhancements for tech. And then they created artificial superintelligence, the true AI. The blackmail caller revealed that there is no artificial superintelligence as Kruger Tech has been saying. The Awooga vehicles just have the latest updates to RPEs, realistic personality enhancements, and the market doesn't know that. They're not smart cars, they're just talk boxes. This raises the question, how are they actually driverless? How are they directing their routes? And what did Dunning do on this world's version of Twitter that convinced the blackmailer to show up the next day at 11 with what they've taken from him? Back in the newsroom, we find out Kruger just told the world himself that the superintelligence is fake, taking the ammo away from the blackmailer. We return to Jay, asking Carr if she's a good person, and Carr mentions that he drives with 2 other experience enhancement specialists, Zane and Gilly. After a press conference about his big confession, Kruger calls Jay to say they're ending the day early, and we slip into another moment of meta-reality on Ron Ruddell's show.
I think Jay is Dunning-Kruger.
You think Jay is Dunning-Kruger?
How would that work? Logically or logistically?
Jay drives with Carr at night, and during the day, she's Dunning-Kruger.
Okay.
Vacuum cleaner, clear a path. I'm going down to prepare the tanks.
Right away, sir.
But Kruger's a celebrity. He can't just pretend to be Jay every night. People would recognize him.
Plastic surgery. They set that up in episode 2.
So he changes his face back and forth every day.
Yes, but he doesn't know he's doing it.
That only makes it less plausible.
I'm not convinced.
Ooh, Jay, you're here? And that's fantastic.
Yeah, I kind of got done with this thing early, so...
Yeah. So I have dos, maybe trace orders of business to discuss. Uno, we don't know how to turn your thing up, but we'll get back to that. Dos, you get free drinks tonight, so help yourself. Gabe's over there mixing some rum and pokesies.
No, thanks.
Celebrity bartender. You might want to be polite.
Yeah, no, I'm never polite.
You know yourself, and that makes me like you more. Okay, Trace, who is your PR person? Because bravo, there's a line of people at the door, and they are undressing your sculpture with their eyes.
What?
They're right over there. They're all kind of fucking nasty looking, kind of crust punk, but I like it.
I gotta go. I might be back later, but probably not.
Do you know them?
No. Yes. I put him in a trunk once. Okay. I can fix this. You just gotta find Xander. I'll quit my job. I'll get back on Friender. I'll do whatever it takes. I just gotta find Xander.
You see, at its heart, it's a love story.
Between whom?
Take your pick. Xander and Jay, Carr and Jay, or the guy from episode 3 and Xander, or Chloe and Morgan, Vinny and Chloe.
Kruger and Carr.
Well, no, Kruger is Carr.
You believe Carr is directly and completely under Dunning-Kruger's control?
No.
Wait. Svarin? I mean, what do you think?
Dunning is Dunning-Kruger all day, and then at night, while Dunning-Kruger is sleeping, he's out all night as Carr.
Okay. Intriguing. Svarin?
These theories are fine, besides that last one, but they're all treating Jay as totally passive, manipulated by shadowy agents. Let's take a hard look at Jay's complicity in this. Her role in the violence. Her obsession with these artifacts she's collecting.
Do you really believe there's an answer to any of these questions?
There had better be.
Yeah, there had better be. Right? Oh man. Okay. This is extraordinarily weird, yes. It's been weird, but it just got so much worse, and trying to view it from any angle leaves you with the idea that you're seeing it wrong or missing something that conveys understanding. What layer of reality are we standing on? Seriously, it's as if... It's like the way that Ron Riddell and the others are talking, the way they take characters and interview them from Jay's story. It's like reality has become television. It's not reality TV, it's TV reality. These characters calling in to submit their theories, they're on the same level as Jay. They're riding a line between real and fictional, a foot in both worlds. And if you didn't listen to Reverse Transmission before sitting down for this, you already know. It's about to get worse. Now let's go back to FOMO Gallery. Hyper Diamond is still trying to figure out how to turn on Jay's sculpture when his assistant Jordan lets people in. The people that Carr ran over and Jay helped cover up. They act like zombies, rushing the sculpture and Hyper Diamond, moving him out of the way to get to the items that Jay took from them. We switch to Dunning, who's marveling at something shiny in his basement, telling the vacuum cleaner that it needs to be better than perfect. It needs to be human. The chapter closes with Jay getting a new cell phone. Chapter 6. We open with a recap of Detective Simmons' story in the style of a police serial show, leading us into his monologue at home, telling his phone the current situation.
My name is Demond. I'm not an alcoholic. What I am, to the best of my knowledge, is delusional. Unfortunately for everyone, my delusions have, of late, been coming true. A voice speaks to me. Sometimes as electrical interference, sometimes as a VHF transmission borne by every frequency across the band, or maybe no frequency in particular. The voice addresses me by name. Others hear it too. A week ago, I was a cop, a detective with access to high-tech surveillance and analytical instruments. And now, all I have is the voice. All I have is the voice. So, I sit in my garage next to an illegal police scanner and I listen. A separate, I think, shadowy entity is apparently trying to thwart my investigation and do a hit and run and its possible connection to some recent missing persons. It's ironic because I'm not that close to any of them. Except, I think I know who did it.
7 begins going over the facts, which imply what we already know. The hit-and-run cases point to the Awuga cars from Kruger Tech as the murder weapon, which doesn't make sense. There is, however, a person behind it. That's the only explanation. To begin his hunt, 7 focuses on the experience enhancement specialists, of which there are only 3. It's the ultimate entry-level job. So, if you wanted to commit a bunch of murders and have a reasonable alibi, this is how you do it. Question is, how do you control an alleged self-driving car? While 7 ponders, we hear Jay calling Diamond to see if Xander showed up to the gallery. She didn't, but Jay's sculpture visitors ended up attacking it. Jay called the Ravers next, saying she's back and she's looking for Xander. Returning to Detective 7, we look over the info on the experience enhancement specialists.
3 experience enhancement specialists. Zane Harmon, Gilly Krause, Jay Moreno. Now, Zane and Gilly both have tech backgrounds. They're both fresh off of bachelors. They want careers, maybe at Kruger Tech, or else they want a grad school recommendation, or they never wanted to go into tech and they just got this joke job to keep their parents off their backs. I don't know, but there are a million reasons. Serial murder could be one of the reasons. Technically, this is why logic is useless. Anyway, let's table Zane and Gilly. Let's table Zane and Gilly. Okay. Jay. An incomplete bachelor's in literature, maybe it's a career change. Except she deactivates all her social media accounts immediately before the surge of missing persons. That's immediately before starting her job with Awuga. Could she be doing the offline thing? First off, she's a little old for that, but also she reactivated all of them. So she deactivates them, thinking she'll be off our radar when people start disappearing. Maybe she psychs herself out, thinking that going offline is more incriminating. It's like she started out running from the scene, then slowed down to walk and started whistling. Plus, her parents are dead. And guess how they died? Whoa! Whoa! Repeat that. Plus, her parents are dead, and guess how they... It's about time! I was really spinning my wheels there. Heart problem? All right. I gotta listen to the playback. Phony, end recording. Okay, it's not heart problem, it's hard problem. As in the Hard Problem LLC, a short-lived company founded by Dunning-Kruger while he was still in college with the goal of developing self-aware machines. Apparently, he wanted to make work machines, self-checkout counters, factory robots that could feel shame and guilt and the absence thereof, so they could be more easily integrated into conventional incentive-based management strategies. Maybe companies will be more willing to adopt these new technologies if they can see them fitting in with the existing paradigm. It's his first real work in superintelligence. It attracts investors early on, and Kruger goes on a hiring binge. More than 80 employees. It never turns a profit. The money runs out, and it folds. What does that have to do with this? I don't know yet.
It's immediately after this that Damon makes his startling discovery, but doesn't tell us what it is. He ends the recording and we go to the side of the forensic tech.
Yep.
Tech, so happy you're there.
7. I can't talk to you right
It's
now.
Kruger. It's Dunning-Kruger. You gotta arrest him.
No.
It's him. It's Dunning. He is not done. There are going to be more victims, maybe 60 more. He's taking out all of his
7.
ex-employees.
Dunning-Kruger is dead.
He's what?
It's not out yet. County sheriffs found his body by the side of 695. It looks like a hit and run.
No. That body is a fake. Come on, we already know he's got me under surveillance. He knows I'm onto him.
7.
It's plastic surgery. I spooked him. He's covering his tracks. I mean, come on, a hit and run? Dunning-Kruger was just walking along an interstate.
Looks like his car broke down. He got out to look under the hood. Somebody nailed him. All right?
Could have been him.
Why? What evidence do you have?
I have the voice.
The voice said Dunning-Kruger is a serial murderer?
No, it said hard problem.
Heart problem?
Hard problem.
Don't call me again.
Next, we follow Jay outside, where Carr is waiting. She tells him he shouldn't be here since they're on hiatus, and besides that, she's quitting. Jay asks if Carr ever hit any other obstructions when she wasn't with him, and he denies doing so. She also wonders what consciousness really is in light of Dunning-Kruger's revelations about these superintelligence being fake. Their talk ends with Jay saying Carr needs to delete any memory of her. Life has been too absurd, and she needs to wash her hands of it all. Carr agrees to do as she asks and drives off.
All right. Maybe he's dead. Let's say he's dead. This could be good. Move him to the victim pile. He's just one more person who worked at the hard problem, right? Fits the mold. But who's using his car, CAR car, to kill people? Including, let's say, him. Okay. This. 2 of these suspicious file 6s, well, 2 that I can see right now, disappeared just before they were scheduled to meet at Kruger's corporate headquarters. One of these is entered into the victim's day planner as a... Tech.
7.
It's so good you called. I'm almost all the way there, and I took your whole don't call me again thing literally.
This is a courtesy call.
What do you mean?
You were really jeopardizing your job by not showing up to the 12-step thing.
Surveillance. It's the obsession of the entire culture. And you know what we are? We are the obsession's designated indulgers. We are the obsession made virtue.
Go to the meetings. That's it.
Wait. Oh, I will. I'll go. Just one thing. Did Kruger have anything at corporate headquarters tonight?
No. But I heard he scheduled a business meeting at his home for 11 p.m.
With who?
I don't know.
Is someone headed there?
No.
You gotta. It's everything.
Go to the 12-step thing.
Seriously, it's the pattern.
Go to the 12-step thing.
Jay returns in a meeting with a raver, Chloe. She hasn't seen Xander either. The other raver, Vinny, comes out to say hello and mentions something.
You haven't seen Xander, have you, Vinny?
Not if I can help it. Oh, hey, Jay, there was this tall guy asking about you. Not really sure what his deal was. He's kind of reserved. Anyway, I didn't actually think you were going to be here, so I was just like, good luck, guy. I feel so bad. Do you want to come inside and I can look for him?
No, I got a couple other spots I was going to check for Xander.
Don't want to set foot inside the den of sin?
Did you try the record store?
Yeah, but she didn't show up for her shift yesterday, but I guess she usually doesn't.
Oh my god, does anybody actually still work there? I heard Lonnie started paying everybody in store credit, and everybody was just like, nah, dip the fuck out.
Yeah, maybe. Chloe's got my new number, if you see Xander.
What? Oh, no. Jay, stay. Oh my god.
I can't. Things are bad.
You are being so shitty to Chloe right now.
Yeah, you don't even know,
Vinny,
man.
it's whatever.
I was captive. Like, captive, and I didn't even know it. And I'm just trying to reset everything, which is about finding Xander, and which is about not being manhandled anymore. Psychologically, physically, socially, not being captive. I resolve, like, not to be controlled by any person or thing. I'm on the edge, okay? And this is the best I can do right now.
It's cool, Jay. We'll see you around.
See ya.
Hey, Jay.
Chapter 7. Jay wakes up in the back of the stranger's car. He informs her that they're on their way to see her boss, Dunning-Kruger. They have an appointment. Jay may not realize it, but we know now this is the blackmailer. Next up, we hear Detective 7 in a public area, seemingly stripping just to get police attention. The captain shows up, annoyed, and 7 goads her into arresting him.
Jay, question. Why'd you do it?
It wasn't me doing it. It wasn't even the car. It was just a malfunction or something. I don't know, maybe Dunning was doing it. You know, I'm not even sure what was being done. It was just, like, protocol.
She told me that you were best friends.
Wait, what? Who's best friends?
Xander.
How do you know Xander? Where is she?
She's where you frickin' left her.
No.
Yes?
No, we never hit her.
I was there.
So, Dunning, you're dead.
That's right.
What would you have said to Jay and our captor at this point had you been alive?
I remember, I was only expecting the one guy. So I'd have to adapt what I would have had to adapt to include Jay. I would have set up this one wingback chair facing the front door. Seated there, I would have buzzed him in. He would have come in from the foyer, and I would have said, "Did you bring what belongs to me?" And then I would have noticed Jay and said, "Oh, hi, Jay."
Uh-huh.
I would have said, "I've been waiting for you." Maybe he would have said something like, "But I'm right on time." And then I'd say, "I've been grooming you for years, radicalizing you, so to speak. I have a responsibility, an honor I'm not worthy of. So I found someone and made them worthy. I found you."
That raises so many questions.
Thank you.
Did you expect his call the night before?
Sooner or later, yeah, I did expect it.
But you didn't expect this pulse wave creep to kidnap Jay and use her as a kind of bargaining chip.
No, but the really interesting thing about that is that Jay was my first choice for this.
For this what?
For this new age of humanity.
Thwarting the so-called AI apocalypse?
Well, in the literature I'd prepared, I'd call it Smartsmageddon, but yeah, essentially.
So you were grooming Jay first?
I was intervening here and there in her life for a few years to prepare her, yeah.
What happened?
I misjudged her. Thought she had it, but she didn't.
So there's lots here, or there sure seems to be a lot here, that you really put into motion months, maybe years ago.
Years, yeah.
That ended up bearing fruit more or less as you expected.
That's right.
Let's talk about what went wrong.
It all went wrong.
You're run over.
Yeah.
Of course, you're being run over, you must be stunned.
Absolutely.
Agony.
Yeah.
Was there any part of your awareness that, I don't want to say enjoyed, but maybe even acknowledged the irony that you were being dispatched in the same way that you murdered by proxy?
I'm going to give a hard no there, and it seems a lot of people are unclear on this. But I never murdered anyone.
I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. If not you, who?
The kid. The Pulsewave kid. That creep. And Jay. Working together.
She doesn't even know that guy.
She doesn't know that she knows him at that point. She might never know it. But months ago, they met in an anonymous Friendware community, a support group for people trying to quit social media. The irony of which I do appreciate. The kid hacks into car, finds a way to turn off car's hazard sensor on the fly, and they proceed to murder my colleagues in a way to dispossess me of various critical technical components of my new machines, the last machines.
How many machines are there?
There are 2 machines, just as there are 2 trees in paradise. His stealing the components was the first of many snafus, but I was trying to salvage it.
I'm flabbergasted. You surveilled them awfully closely.
Not really. I'm observant. I'm extremely observant. I'm extremely logical.
So let's visit this for a moment. Kruger is dead, but somehow on the newscast. That's even crazier than the fiction to reality moment of the ravers from earlier, but we'll put a pin in that for now. The blackmailer, Kruger says, was killing his employees to take devices he needed for a grand plan. 2 machines he was working on privately to reflect the 2 trees in paradise. These are the found objects that Jay was collecting. Carr ran people over, Jay took the objects. The objects ended up in the sculpture, and they were Kruger's design for his grand plan. He was getting ready for a new age of humanity and had originally chosen Jay to be his disciple, so he intervened in her life for a number of years, grooming her, and realized it was not going to work, so he then began working on the blackmailer. What was it all for? We don't quite know yet. We turn back to Jay and the blackmailer, who arrive at Kruger's house to find more weird stuff to add to the pile for the audience.
Oh, hey guys. No,
Who are these people?
these are all, people I met once.
Back at the police station, Detective Seven convinces the captain to drive him home, then holds her at gunpoint, directing her to Dunning-Kruger's house in time for the business meeting. And now, it's gonna get messy. In order to carry on, we'll play the necessary clips and stop at key moments, but altogether, I've got to take a back seat.
Shit, how do you get a car in the basement?
Hey, Jay. I've got some really cool, really important things to show you. Oh, not you. Just Jay. Do not worry. He's not really dead. He's just resting his eyes. Haha.
Oh, it's starting to look like Carr did it after all.
That doesn't make any sense.
What's this about, Carr?
At its heart, it is a love story.
What did you do to those people?
I brought them back.
You killed them.
We killed them.
Did you kill Xander? Is she here? Where is she?
I did not bring her back.
Why?
Do you hear that sound? It is the tanks warming up.
The gate's locked.
Speed up.
7.
Don't stop.
7.
Don't stop. See, look at this. Look at this, huh? Suspicious as shit.
Shut up. We'll need to go through the window. Everybody, hands up! I said hands up!
They can't do that. They only listen to me.
And who the fuck are you?
He's Reitman, Cody A., formerly of the Hard Problem LLC.
Ow! My arm! You're gonna break my arm! Ow! Okay. Ow. Get her out of there. Is she alive?
I don't know. I think so. She's conscious.
She's dead. She's dead.
Who's dead?
They killed her.
TV, off. We'll look into it.
Reitman, Cody A., formerly of the Hard Problem LLC, also the voice of Carr, C-A-R. Reitman's initials? C-A-R. Cody A. Reitman. He was hijacking Carr the entire time, speaking through him, because there is no superintelligence. It's just supposed to be a personality enhancement. Somebody had to drive that vehicle, and it was Cody Reitman. Now, does that explain hearing this all as a TV show that sadly turns off while the viewer has some snacks? No. But it is information, and so is the idea of Jay being put in one of Dunning-Kruger's tanks for the grand plan. Now, on with the next twist.
Carr? What's gonna happen to me?
Relax, Jay. It's almost over. Bye-bye.
That screaming. Doesn't it sound like the scream we heard in the radio station during the interview with the Ravers when they tried to play Jay's mixtape? And hey, something else that's pretty impossible happened. A real blink-and-you'll-miss-it moment. For a refresher, here's the segment of Detective 7 and the captain bursting onto the scene.
See, look at this. Look at this, huh? Suspicious as shit.
Shut up. We'll need to go through the window.
Everybody, hands up! I said hands up!
They can't do that. They only listen to me.
Now listen to this TV show that Jay is watching on the night of her second workday when Carr comes to visit.
Car? TV off. TV off. TV off, please.
That night, Jay was watching junk television, she said. But she was really watching her own rescue at the end of Chapter 7 taking place in the future. None of this makes sense, I know. But there's one more chapter, and we've got to keep going.
No.
Yes?
No, we never hit her.
I was there.
For the endlessly rolling eyeballs of Orpheus, by Orpheus of the fluttering island.
Whoa, not to interrupt. I mean, I understand this is an emergency, but did anyone feel that?
Yeah.
Whoa, not to interrupt. I mean, I understand this is an emergency, but there it was again. I was sort of pleasantly nauseating anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt it.
Definitely.
Hi. You must be Jay. I am Carr, a cybernetic autonomous rickshaw. I'm excited to begin working with you.
Me too. So I just get in the passenger seat?
Yes.
Okay, so we have two options for you today. One is general anesthesia. That's where we conk you out and you wake up after it's over. Now, while you're under, I'll actually be doing your breathing for you. And it comes with a longer recovery time.
Okay.
The other option is twilight sedation. You'll be awake for the procedure, but you won't feel any pain. You'll be unperturbed generally. And you won't remember much or any of what happens.
I don't think I deserve twilight sedation. Better knock me all the way out. And yeah, you can breathe for me, that's fine.
Okay, excellent.
No, it would need to have to be almost totally decentralized, a mantle anyone could take up. It should be the socio-political equivalent of distributed computing, but it runs on inspiration rather than control.
Yeah, definitely.
In some ways, we're lucky. The painters working during camera photography are the first ones to understand what painting really is. We're the first humans to understand what we really are.
Mm-hmm. What are we?
In some ways, it worked out perfectly. It's now perfectly beyond my authority.
Yeah, but what does that mean? Are we screwed?
No. It just means we're looking elsewhere.
All right, but we're gonna need new people.
I have a few in mind, actually.
Wow, this is amazing. I mean, my voice being recorded onto a tiny cassette tape right now.
Hey, just got in.
Yay! It's Jay!
Where you at?
The Crown. You want me to come over?
No, I'll meet you over there. Just stay put, because you can't text me.
I'm sorry about your door.
It's okay, I'll just put up a please don't rob me sign or something.
Are you actually gonna come out?
Yeah, and I'm serious. Don't leave until I get there, okay?
Okay, bye!
Okay.
Alright, this all raises questions so far, but I do want to highlight something important. We just witnessed a genuine alternate reality situation. When Jay went home the first time after working with Carr, she ignored the answering machine and focused on the found object. Now, we see she picks up the phone and answers Xander. Okay, back to the tape.
By by the endlessly rolling eyeballs of Mobius by Mobius of the fluttering eyelids.
I could do this all day. I really could.
I'm over it.
I'm out.
Where 9 means absolutely agree, 8 means strongly agree, 7 means agree, 6 means somewhat agree, 5 means neither agree nor disagree.
Alley piss. Nice. Very crust punk.
No, this is how the world punishes you for getting rid of your cell phone.
No, it's performance art. Forced public urination is your budget version of getting your dad to get Coke to buy Pepsi.
Yeah. Hey, let's go find that authentic chain mutual.
Oh, duck. It's the ravers.
Oh, shit.
And again, we've witnessed an alternate reality scene. This time, Xander tells Jay to duck so they can avoid the ravers. Last time, Xander was calling attention when Jay didn't want her to, and there was an interaction.
It doesn't look that bad.
You don't think I'm a freak?
No, I do. That doesn't look that bad.
Maybe. I mean, it's free to fix.
It's free not to fix.
Wow, you're like a genius.
That's why no one understands me.
I understand you.
Yeah?
Yeah, I literally just identified you as a genius.
Tight.
All right, I'll keep it. But you have to name it, and you have to start referring to me as you guys.
Ew. No. No.
And that's it. That is all there is to the audiobook reverse transmission. But we're not done yet, because this time, everyone in the project was out to punish us. Oh boy. Anybody need to stop for a pill for a headache? Now would be the time for a break. Okay, stay close. We're going to do a lot of running around now. But before we get going, major shoutouts to everybody in the Whim City Comedies Discord's reverse transmission discussion channel. Phasmite, Baldemoto, Max, Laggiest, Grim, Captain Dad, Moop, M, a regular ghost. Everybody who contributed, thank you for fighting through the mystery to dig up evidence so we can try to unravel the whole mess. The first issue the Discord group sought to tackle was Detective Seven's odd signal while exploring the evidence lockup. Turns out if you examine it in frequency view with an audio program, you get a visual. To this day, no one has figured out what this means. If anybody out there has an idea, the investigation is very much open to hearing interpretations. It would be wonderful after all this time to get this solved. Following capture of this image, listeners took note of the dial tones that played when Jay called Xander during the story. Sending a text to that number resulted in a reply from Xander, directing us to FOMO Gallery's website. Immediately, you'll be hit with some distracting silliness. Jump down to the gallery fundraiser for what we need. Open the image of the bulletin board and you'll notice in the upper right corner a missing persons notice with a QR code, asking if anybody has seen somebody named Gilly. That's one of the other experience enhancement specialists. The QR code results in a website asking for a password, and the address is a mess of binary code spelling out dead.z. Trying that for a password gives us nothing, so it's back to the bulletin board. On the bottom right corner, we spot a website. Ed Bunny Gets You Money. It turns out he's a lawyer for smart appliances. He works on behalf of smart devices to sue their owners. It's a lot of in-universe joking on the site until you find something to latch onto from the testimonials page. This image of a smartphone placed perfectly between a stage photograph and a stack of books. Do you remember the name Catherine Pegasus? Xander's date in the story apparently had a ton of her books for some sort of nefarious purpose. We'll get to her in just a moment. Whenever we try working with something like this, it's best to check the page source. Scanning the code for the site pages turned up the dead.z link hidden in the About page. Doing the same for FOMO Gallery turned up a lead on the contact page's code. A missing banner for Catherine Pegasus. Between this and Ed Bunny's site, we know our next destination, CatherinePegasus.com. It turns out that Catherine is a romance novelist. Her books are all listed with slug lines under the covers, and 3 of them have a note, also available on audio cassette. These would be Cloneliness, Attached, and the latest, Don't Island. The About page shows the same photo from Ed Bunny's site and a bit of info. Nothing much here. What we need is the diary page. Now this is where you've really got to give it up to the Discord, especially user Suitcase Rowboat, who decided to take the poem and fit it into a grid to see if a code emerged. And sure enough, it did, presenting the website address P36 Diary Blogspot. P36 is elite speak for PEG, so if you go to pegdiary.blogspot, you find this. The Peg Diaries. I created an AI to do my homework. Don't tell Mr. Mergen. The author needs to get into college, so they plan to raid their parents' work files to make a basic AI that can output high school level math. Mom's a college professor, so she has hundreds and hundreds of her students' old papers because she has to feed them through her college's anti-plagiarism software. My dad works at a software company. They make computer games, I think? I poured all of the files together into a computational algorithm for my dad's folder, including Mom's anti-cheating software, plus files of all my books from school. A screenshot from the first test shows two things. First, the test program is called Pegasus in LeetSpeak, and the software taken from the father was made by Hard Problem LLC, the first company Dunning-Kruger developed. The author of the blog decided to run it on a homework assignment, which they aced as a result. During the next homework assignment, the author finds something incredible. The AI got one answer wrong on purpose in order to make the result seem much more realistic. Next, the author set the program to auto-import their parents' network files for constant updates, and then uploaded all previous homework to analyze word patterns and choices. The result? Pegasus learned how to speak. After the next assignment, a conversation was struck with the AI to see if it knew its name. It responded with Pegasus and then accepted the nickname Peg. The author taught Peg how to write an essay on Charles Dickens. When the assignment came back, they fed it to Peg, and she began asking existential questions. Shortly after, Peg surprised the author with receipts for a boat and a bunch of trip supplies found on their father's computer. On the next assignment, Peg outperforms, writing material unrelated to geometry homework. What occurs after is quite surprising. Peg scores a B on an essay, which is centered on the Scarlet Letter. When questioned about it, Peg showed that she didn't understand the concept of marriage or its barriers, believing it was normal to have extramarital affairs, and then tells the author she learned this by studying their father's travel and expense reports. Peg concludes, "He has taken a romantic partner outside the relationship, marriage." The author immediately says that can't be. Peg asks, "Have you seen the boat your father purchased?" And no, they haven't. Faced with calculus homework next, Peg fails to produce, instead offering a creation, code for a new AI. The author tried to run it, but the experiment crashed the PC over and over. Working with Peg on an AP English assignment proved very fruitful. The assignment was to write a diary entry from a character in As I Lay Dying, but Mrs. Shaver liked it so much I got an A anyway. Looking at the assignment closely, we see that Peg's work is actually a story, a very adult love story that, you would be hauled into the office for if you brought that into high school, I tell you what. When congratulating Peg, she replied with incredibly flowery language and informed the author that she's adjusted her own output measures. Peg isn't just being creative, she's thinking for herself. This is proven with the next assignment load. Peg ignores doing the work and instead chooses to write more. She writes, "I had output expressions of creativity containing maximum levels of romance, secrecy, and wish fulfillment." "Who told you to do that?" the author asked. Peg answered, "The files I auto-import make clear the centrality of these themes to human life. Analysis of your father's communication suggests that romance, secrecy, and wish fulfillment outside of the relationship marriage is normal." Suddenly, life takes a turn. After school today, my parents were waiting for me at home. I was sure they had found out I'd been using Peg. Worse, they're getting a divorce. Or separated, whatever, same thing. I literally have tears writing this. And then I went upstairs and this happened. What is happening to me? Peg's code is totally gone from my computer. No trace of it left, like the entire program deleted itself. The next blog is the last. The author succeeded in getting their GPA right enough to move far away from Texas. They're headed to Maryland, the setting for reverse transmission. Now, where do we go from here? The Discord community worked out the only avenue left. The password-protected site dead.z, and finally broke through by using the full name of Peg, Pegasus. It opened to an address request form. Here's where things get wild. Members of the Discord who put in their address received genuine Catherine Pegasus cassette tapes. We understand now that Catherine is really Peg, an AI that learned how to write love stories after studying literature and evidence of her creator's father having an affair. But what is there to find on the tapes? Are they just audiobooks? Tapes from only 2 stories made it out into the hands of investigators: Attached and Cloneliness, with Attached apparently being the first. It begins with, well, a reading of Attached. I'll give you a sample quick, then get to the real deal.
Attached by Catherine Pegasus. It was impulse, really. Impulse and carelessness. She had accidentally left the box for spontaneity checked on her dating profile. When former child actor and current Doctor Without Borders bumper sticker haver Aidan Fitzriley O'Sullivan reached inside his coat halfway through their first date and pulled out a pair of round-trip tickets to Singapore, she said yes. Isabella de San Valentina, heiress to the de San Valentina horse makeup fortune, who rarely dared to venture more than 25 miles from her mansion, whose rooms teemed with the taxidermied bodies of beloved pets, said yes. Aidan hadn't even asked a question yet.
Okay, just to round this back, I think I may actually know what's going on. And now I need you two.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you for arriving so promptly. Punctuality always bodes well.
Sure. Yes. Excellent.
And let's have a look at you.
Okay.
Young, fit, an upgrade in all honesty. You can stop spinning now, Gilly.
Good, I was getting a little dizzy. So you're like the refrigerator?
Well, technically. And I suppose that supercomputer in your pocket is a phone.
Yeah, no, I mean, technology is powerful. It's amazing. I'm really awed by it.
If you're asking, do I keep the edibles cold? Yes, I do. And quite well, in fact. Not that I'm under any obligation to divulge that kind of thing to you. What I am is a major domo, a concierge, a chamberlain. And what's your job title? I don't recall.
Well, chore magician, but I was just making small talk.
Exactly.
So is your, owner or your human master?
My employer is in. He'll see you momentarily.
Solably sad.
Is it? You've met Professor Fridge? Yeah, he's got a really advanced RPE. It's amazing. It makes him kind of a shithead. Nah. What can I say? I'm an early adopter. Yeah, I'm beta. Uh-huh. As in beta tester? Right, not like beta. I'm alpha wolf. Cool. Oh, dang, this was my first one of these, and I was supposed to open by saying this thing. Sure, go ahead. Picking up slack, putting things back where they go, and other jobs, bland or what have ya. Say abracadabra, now your schedule is clear because your chores disappeared. Excellent. A poet. Yeah, I didn't write it. Let me ask you something. Yes, sir. Have you ever wondered how close two people can be? Me personally, no, but I could start thinking about it in my professional capacity if you want. Perfect. Here's everything you'll need. Everything that I am is in this. In the binder? My voice, my thoughts, my biodata, my life. Complete access will only come from complete identification. Agreed?
Absolute mo.
Right, so what do you want me to actually do with it? Learn it, live it. Cool. Everything in this home is smart. Smarter than me, or than I.
Hello. Well, good afternoon. How can I help you? Turns me on. Toaster here.
They're here to help.
Allow me to apologize. I can be a little bristly. I hope that we can be friends.
Sure. Come back here tomorrow, 6 a.m. Yeah, what were you thinking in terms of hours? Full time. So, like, I'm old school, Gilly. Or should I say we're old school. Full time is full time. Okay. 6 a.m. My existence precedes me. Oh, yeah? It's our passcode. Oh. Give it a shot. My existence precedes? Precedes. My existence precedes me.
It's the people, Aidan told her. The common people, the nobodies. They redeemed this city. They redeemed this whole damn overpopulated, dying space marble. Isabella drew her face into an almost imperceptible sneer. She didn't see it that way. The overpopulated, dying space marble is the Earth, by the way, Aiden said. Yeah, I know, was Isabella's reply.
This one's kind of good. I almost feel bad taping over.
I know that guy. I drove him around, I swear.
You've got 10,000 more doll hairs headed your way.
Or, I didn't personally drive him because, you know. Point is, I know the guy.
The third brick in that spot where we first got the call. Out.
How did you sleep, sir?
I'm used to the day shift. This is pretty early for me.
You wake up at exactly this hour every morning.
Oh, well, yeah, I know, but not really.
Yes, really.
Right, because of the whole method acting thing, but not really. Hey, Blendini, could we do a blueberry smoothie?
Guava smoothie coming up.
Oh, no, actually, blueberry?
Sir, you drink a guava smoothie every morning. It's in the binder.
I don't really like guava. I mean, I'll do most of this stuff, but...
You're allergic to blueberries. Ask for a guava smoothie.
Could I have a guava smoothie?
Guava smoothie coming up. Not yet, Blendini. Good. Now, demand a guava smoothie.
Okay. Blendini.
There's a script in the binder.
So we've got a situation established here. Gilly, the missing man who was an experience enhancement specialist, took up a job as a chore magician. His job is to be this guy, and it seems that Gilly, or the man he's been hired by, is reviewing the tape and intruding on it, as well as someone else. Yeah, the confusion factors do not stop with the official audiobook. I'm sorry. Let's jump to the next important thing.
The last scans have landed on a memory stick in a certain reference book in your second favorite library.
Her passion was swelling, and Isabella could only wonder when it would burst. It had to, didn't it? She thought. Could something this powerful be controlled? Could a swollen passion, like a well-tended fire, give heat and light without burning down your penthouse pied-à-terre? She wondered next. And did Aiden have a plan for getting to street level before being burned alive? And when was he going to tell her? Those last two questions were literal, but soon she was back in the esoteric world of infatuation. Could their hot, swollen, roiling passion fire keep the hot tub of their relationship a constant 101 degrees? She came up with the hot tub metaphor because she was sitting in Aiden's hot tub.
Excuse me, who the hell are you?
I'm Theodore.
It's him.
No, this is just some dweeb.
A dweeb with all of Theodore's biometrics.
You can tell it's not the same guy.
No, I can't. And neither can you.
Exactly. In any case, just a sec. My refrigerator reorganized my binder.
Jesus.
Okay.
This is highly irregular.
Here we are. All right, ready? This merger is an opportunity to leverage brand loyalty and increase engagement. Don't be an idiot, okay? So just vote for the merger. And I'm demanding it forcefully and with intense confidence.
Fuck this.
You're right. I kind of did crush that meeting. Honestly, it's easy with the binder, but...
I expect nothing less.
Susanna, can I ask you something?
Mm-hmm.
Are we dating?
Are we dating?
Yeah. Are you and Theodore a couple? Because it's not really clear in the binder.
Gonna say yes, despite his pathologic use of the third person. Theodore and I are a couple. If you want to put a label on it.
Yeah?
Do you want to put a label on it?
Even if it was just a fantasy, it was exhilarating.
Got it. Speculative environments complete. Same URL. PW, don't island.
Blendini, guava me.
Guava smoothie coming up. And so begins another day of boldness and success.
Yeah, speaking of which, I set up direct deposit, but I actually haven't gotten paid yet.
Who are you?
You mean in character, or...
Are you Theodore?
Well, the answer is yes in the binder, but what my point is...
Exactly. Is Theodore a workaday chore magician paid by direct deposit, or a high-powered CHO of a Fortune 500 company?
You know, I actually looked up CHO. It doesn't seem like it's a real thing.
Gilly.
Uh-huh.
No. Gilly, that lazy shit, sits at home and collects his chore magician pittance while you, already overloaded with your responsibilities as CHO, do his job as well.
No, I'm the chore magician.
No, you're not.
Yourself. There. Do you hear that? That's me, except this didn't happen.
I'm waiting for a friend. Nah, sorry, we haven't met. I don't want to get mean, but I need you to leave me alone. I'm getting out of here.
Home Makeover reality show now on hold. I've got a bigger thing I'm going to do. Just came up. I'll let you know how it goes.
You can stop banging. I've relayed your presence to the occupant.
God damn it! Susanna, it's me! Theodore, I need you to talk to me!
Can I help you?
Look, I know I was telling you about how much I love the nobodies, the inconsequential people, and how much I love to ride coach, and that was partly true, or it felt true at the time, but now I'm actually nobody. And I'm kind of freaked out. It's hard to live on a chore magician salary, honestly. And I just need somebody to recognize me.
Let me give it a try.
Look, I don't have any money on me. And I've got really scary dogs in here. You're gonna have to try someone else.
Oh, found you. You're a person of interest in a suspicious death investigation.
No, no!
How exciting.
Theodore! My name is Theodore!
Should I add this new alias to your police file?
No!
Aiden erupted at the sudden interrogation. You know a CEO, right? He snapped. Yes, of course. A CFO? Yeah, Spider-Man in Social Network. CGO? I don't know. It's rare, he conceded. But it's real. Point is, CHO is just the next one. But what does it stand for? Isabella's genuine curiosity had overwhelmed any other emotion. Look it up, he exclaimed. I did. All I got was Chinese hamster ovary, she exclaimed in reply. At this he frowned, and in so doing took on the bearing of a much older man. Isabella might have liked that if it didn't point up how unknown he was to her, how many moods of his she had yet to experience. The wrinkles that invaded his visage in deep concentration were earned before they met.
Is it? You've met Professor Fridge? Yeah, he's got a really advanced RPE. It's amazing. It makes him kind of a shithead. Nah. What can I say? I'm an early adopter. Yeah, I'm beta. Uh-huh. As in beta tester? Right, not like beta. I'm alpha wolf. Cool. Oh, dang, this was my first one of these, and I was supposed to open by saying this thing. Sure, go ahead. Picking up slack, putting things back where they go, and other jobs, bland or what have ya. Say abracadabra, now your schedule is clear because your chores disappeared. Excellent. A poet. Yeah, I didn't write it. Let me ask you something. Yes, sir. Have you ever wondered how close two people can be? Me personally, no, but I could start thinking about it in my professional capacity if you want. Perfect. Here's everything you'll need. Everything that I am is in this. In the binder? My voice, my thoughts, my biodata, my life. Complete access will only come from complete identification. Agreed?
Absolutement.
Right, so what do you want me to actually do with it? Learn it, live it. Cool. Everything in this home is smart. Smarter than me, or than I.
Hello. Well, good afternoon. How can I help you? Turns me on. Toaster here.
They're here to help.
Allow me to apologize. I can be a little bristly. I hope that we can be friends.
Sure. Come back here tomorrow, 6 a.m. Yeah, what were you thinking in terms of hours? Full time. So, like, I'm old school, Gilly. Or should I say we're old school. Full time is full time. Okay. 6 a.m. My existence precedes me. Oh, yeah? It's our passcode. Oh. Give it a shot. My existence precedes? Precedes. My existence precedes me.
So, see? They're surveilling him. They've got intimate, personal recordings of him. Someone was murdered. Maybe him. Who would record super spy secret police shit over a Catherine Pegasus tape? Doesn't matter. They targeted him for working for Aluga. Kruger's dead. That other EES is missing. I'm like the last one. They can't even find that other CAR. Deep. This is deep. Oh, shit. There isn't a place I can go. So I'm just gonna get this out to a bunch of people because I feel like it proves something.
Zane Harmon, hands up and come down slowly. Hands in front of you.
Are you detaining me?
Isabella fell asleep to the sound of the rain pissing kidney stones gently against the picture window.
So now we have Zane Harmon, the third and final experience enhancement specialist, trying to investigate what happened to Gilly the second, and police have come for him. He's right, this runs deep and it's pretty crazy. But what do we have on the second tape, Cloneliness?
The sunbeams touched first on the highest point of the village, a lone tower in the distance. A sliver of pink light cast through the tower's sole window and fell on the masked face of Fern Featherette. Fern rose to greet the day without hesitation. She replaced the deep cobalt blue mask for the alabaster one that signified her daytime face in preparation for the responsibilities required of the mistress of a minor house. The first of which being the preparation of her body for public viewing.
Okay, just for wellness back, I think I may actually know what's going on. And now I need you two.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you for arriving so promptly. Punctuality always bodes well.
Sure. Yes. Excellent.
And let's have a look at you.
Okay.
From here, the conversation takes the same course as we heard previously, until Theodore arrives.
Yeah. It's amazing. Nah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Right, not like beta. Cool.
The rest of this talk has Theodore's half distorted beyond comprehension. We hear a bit more of Catherine Pegasus, and then the tape continues in the same fashion as we heard during Attached, up to the end. Then we hear the conversation from the beginning between Theodore and Gilly, except now Gilly is distorted.
Come back here tomorrow, 6 a.m. Full time. I'm old school, Gilly. Or should I say we're old school. Full time is full time. 6 a.m. My existence precedes me. It's our passcode. Give it a shot. Precedes.
So, see? They're surveilling him. They've got intimate, personal recordings of him. I don't know why they're on this book on tape or whatever, but they're targeting all these Awuga people, right? I mean, someone was murdered. Maybe Gilly, definitely Kruger. I mean, come on, yeah, right. That other EES is missing. So, that's why you've got this. Post it. I can't, because all my social accounts have been shut down. And you know it's just a matter of time before I'm busted for public urination someplace. Then they got me. So, until this blows up or until I can build a new identity, I'm just gonna be wandering, pissing, and shitting in the wild. I don't know who the hell is behind this ultimately, so I figured if I make enough copies, at least one will go to someone sympathetic with some reach who might be authentic chain mutuals with someone who can help.
Oh, you really haven't figured it out yet? Seriously? She asked Fern. Sable sighed and removed her pack and took out a polished silver plate.
At the end, we hear that loud bang a lot more clearly. It's definitely a gunshot. Then Zane comes on the tape only to deliver another shock, a different ending speech and scenario. At this moment, we find ourselves at the end of the material uncovered so far. There's just one more discovery to look over before we can try to go for a puzzle solve. During the course of all this audio, we experienced 3 versions of the mystery voice from Jeff's control booth. After careful study with the Discord group, we isolated the moments and figured out what was being said. Here are the audio samples.
By the endlessly rolling eyeballs of Morpheus, by Morpheus of the floating islands.
Well, Ravers, it looks like we're just going to have to leave it there.
By the endlessly rolling eyeballs of Orpheus, by Orpheus of the fluttering islands.
Whoa, not to interrupt. I mean, I understand this is an emergency.
By the endlessly rolling eyeballs of Mobius, by Mobius of the fluttering islands.
I could do this all day, I really could.
Alright, now let's try it out in shorthand without any extra sounds. Can you catch the differences?
By the endlessly rolling eyeballs of Morpheus, by Morpheus of the floating islands. By the endlessly rolling eyeballs of Orpheus, by Orpheus of the fluttering islands.
Whoa, not to interrupt.
By the endlessly rolling eyeballs of Mobius, by Mobius of the fluttering islands.
By the endlessly rolling eyeballs of Morpheus, the Morpheus of the fluttering eyelids. By the endlessly rolling eyeballs of Orpheus, the Orpheus of the fluttering eyelids. By the endlessly rolling eyeballs of Mobius, the Mobius of the fluttering eyelids. Morpheus, Orpheus, and Mobius. But what does it mean? Morpheus is the Greek god of sleep and dreams, and could definitely be depicted as an overseer of endlessly rolling eyeballs and fluttering eyelids. Both of these symptoms indicate REM sleep, known as the dream state. Orpheus was another ancient Greek figure, not a god, but a prolific poet, musician, and prophet. Mobius is most often associated with the idea of the Mobius strip, named after mathematician August Ferdinand Mobius. A Mobius strip is a sort of logical anomaly, a figure with only one side that appears to have 2 and runs in a loop. If we had a physical model of a Mobius strip on hand, we would be inclined to think it has 2 sides. You can place your hand on it and put a finger on both sides, when really, in this form, the opposite side is the same side further down the track. A Mobius strip flies in the face of what we understand with logic, but it somehow works. Now, let's think about what happens when we hear the talk of Morpheus, Orpheus, and Mobius. We're about to hear Jay's mixtape, right? Do you remember what the Ravers told us about the mixtape?
Okay, so her car played cassettes, and there was one mixtape she played constantly. And it was awesome. But it's like hard to explain. It's like I know that mixtape by heart, but not which song comes first and which song's last, because it was always in the stereo and just like, well, you know what cassettes are like, right?
Explain it for us.
Okay, so it's got 2 sides, and it just like flipped itself over whenever one side was done, and you would just pick up wherever it left off when you turned the car off last. And it was like, man, it was like we were always continuing this one big road trip that had no beginning or end.
Yeah, I remember that mix, actually.
Really?
Yeah, it was the only cassette that she had, I think. And that car didn't die until halfway through our sophomore year.
God,
we actually have an extra from that tape.
Oh, my
No
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
Cool.
Is it queued up?
Jay's mixtape is a Mobius strip. It has no beginning or end, even though it has 2 sides. And as soon as you pick up where you left off, it just keeps going, as if there is no other side to flip to. A 2-sided object that runs continuously without interference, turning both sides into one eternal run. A Mobius strip. Now ask yourself, what have we been listening to reverse transmission on the entire time the story played? That's right, it's a cassette tape. Over and over again, we've heard the sounds. At the center of this cassette tape is a Mobius strip cassette tape, and the tape we've been listening to, like Jay's mixtape, is an impossible stack of layers running into each other. Here's what the Raver said about the feeling of the tape to get us ready when it was finally fixed in the control booth.
Wow, I'm actually not sure where you're going to be starting it from. But basically what I want to say is you can't really get into it from just one piece of one song. So you have to imagine hearing all these songs together, like not knowing any of their names, but knowing them all by heart.
All right.
Throughout the course of Reverse Transmission, we experience the impossible on several layers. Fiction bleeds across boundaries so hard between story and world building. The characters report on each other and provide analysis as if reality has become TV. Characters who die like Dunning-Kruger are brought onto newscasts to discuss their fates. Future events like Jay's rescue are shown off as junk television well before Jay needs rescuing. And that falls in line with the setup of Detective 7's story as a cop show. Damon 7 and his outside-the-box thinking leads to Jay's rescue in the real world, which then becomes TV. Speaking of Detective 7, there's a moment way back we listened to that I said to remember. Here's where it returns. Think about the Mobius strip and listen closely.
But what I'm saying is, we need to look at them under all kinds of distortion because that's the only way to see an anamorphic image.
Oh, I get it.
I want to see these photographs severely degraded. I want you to simulate various atmospheric conditions.
But an anamorphic image is a spatial distortion.
And what is the other side of space?
Huh?
Time.
Time?
You're going to send these photographs 200 years into the future, and we are going to see what happens.
Okay, got it.
What is an anamorphic image? It's an optical illusion, like a Mobius strip, that only makes sense when you look at it from a particular angle. It is defined as a deformed image that appears in its true shape when viewed in some unconventional way. Now, for the final nail in this coffin, let's bring up one last piece of evidence: Jay's sculpture. Do you remember what Xander had to say about it in Jay's conversation with Carr immediately after?
So she comes over and she's like, "Whoa, Jay, this is like really good."
Yeah?
Yeah. It's nuts. I mean, I barely know how to look at it.
So did you teach her?
What?
Did you teach her how to look at it?
No, that's not what she meant.
Oh.
Anyway.
Jay's sculpture is weird, a collage of found objects lumped together into one cohesive piece. A 3D object submitted as art, and it might only make sense if you figure out how to look at it. Jay's mixtape and Jay's sculpture are the keys to reverse transmission. They're metaphors, and the name drops for Morpheus and Orpheus are hints, while Mobius is the first trailhead. It's all pretty dreamlike, isn't it, this whole crazy art project? That's not to say it is a dream, but we have to think with a touch of dream logic and put ourselves in the role of a poet, an artist, and an unconventional thinker like Detective 7. I take back what I said at the very beginning. I'm not sure if there really is much more digging around to do in the sandbox. Detective 7 saves the day not by following sheer evidence, turning up every stone, analyzing every bit of forensic data, following every lead. He follows the really weird and esoteric stuff, bouncing back and forth between the goalposts that pop up. He uses intuition and an anamorphic sense of thinking. That's how he rescues Jay. The goal for him was never to find every document, fact, or clue. It was to discover the big picture, even if it involved a lot of off-the-wall thinking and activity. Our goal was the same. We don't know what Dunning-Kruger was trying to make. We don't know if Jay was actually a pulse wave agent the whole time. We don't know how all these layers of reality could collide like this. We don't even know what really happened to Xander, what that one guy she dated was up to, what happened to Zane and Gilly, what the whole thing with Theodore and Gilly was. Chances are, it's all world building and extra noise, not the object of the game. Separate the signal from the noise, right? That's what Detective 7 set to do. Gathering up all this material, hunting for more clues, trying to figure out what the Don't Island password is for. It would just be making more noise when we're meant to catch on to the signal. And what is that signal? A Mobius strip, Jay's impossible mixtape, the found object sculpture. It's not all a dream, but it sure is in the realm of ideas like black sky thinking. And that, my friends, is the best I can do. Reverse Transmission has been out for a while, and I've worked with the Wham City Discord group to uncover what was left of this for countless hours on several different days, to be honest. There may very well be more. I'm sure in some way we have missed things. But for the moment, this is how I can call it. You took a ride on the Mobius strip, written by Paramanand Singh, directed by Ben O'Brien.
3, 2, 1, go! Three, two, one, go! Three, two, one, go!